Good morning. Name's Rufus Callahan, and welcome to Episode 2. Now, you might be wondering, where did I sleep last night? Well, funny story. After I finished mowing yesterday evening, it suddenly hit me. I don't actually have a house. Luckily, my neighbor Seaman had an old Caravan he was willing to let go for $1,000. It's not exactly my old place in Texas, which Darlene kept, by the way, but I'm not complaining. Plenty of folks back in the States live in places like this. I figure I can manage a year or two in a caravan while I get this farm up and running. Anyway, I promised I'd walk you through the finances this morning, so let's see how we're actually doing. Alright, let's go through the numbers for August. I started with $95,000 in savings. 85 of that went straight into buying the property. Another $8,000 went into the basic equipment, the red Massey Ferguson, the chainsaw, and the wood trailer. That left me with about $2,000 in cash. So most of August was spent cutting trees and selling lumber to build the funds back up. In total, I brought in about $33,500 from selling wood. I also sold the red Massey for about $5,000. With that money, I upgraded the tractor to Swifty and bought a mower. I also spent $1,000 on Seaman's old Caravan and paid the interest on the loan. After all that, I'm sitting on 1,493 euros. Not enough to make any dent in the loan. So the debt, or Darlene's debt to be fair, is still $200,000. Subtract the cash I've got left, and that puts my net debt at minus 198,507 euros. It's going to be a challenge paying off that loan while trying to grow the farm. But anyway, here's the plan for today. I need to turn that grass into bales, which means I'll need a windrower and a baler. Like I mentioned yesterday, I met this guy they call the Milker. He says he's got an old windrower he's willing to sell cheap. Now, I'm not entirely sure what he means by cheap, but I'll give him a call later today and find out. The baler, though, that's a much bigger investment. And right now, I've only got about $1,500. So before any of that happens, I'll need to head back to the woods and sell a few more loads of timber. Alright, I spent the morning in the woods and I'm back up to $19,000. Figured it was time for some lunch. I'm starving. So I'm heading back to the caravan. While I'm there, I'll give the milker a call about that old windrower of his. I mean, $19,000 should be enough, right? He did say cheap.
Yeah, Milker speaking.
Hey, this is Rufus. We met at the store the other day.
Ah, the redneck with the chainsaw.
That would be me.
So, what can I do for you?
You mentioned an old windrower you might be willing to sell.
Yeah, I got one sitting behind the barn.
And when you said cheap, what exactly did you mean?
$1,300.
Okay.
You want it or not?
Yeah, I think I do.
Good. I'm actually on my way to town now, so you can have it in about 20 minutes.
All right. I'll head over after lunch.
See you there.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. All right. Lunch is over, and I'm heading into town to see if the milker's left the windrower there for me to pick up. He said 20 minutes, and it's been 30 now, so hopefully it's already there. The milker did seem a bit weird, though, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect. Well, I'm a bit surprised. Looks like the milker is an honest man after all. And for $1,300, this windrower looks to be in pretty good shape. I'll probably upgrade it eventually, along with some of the other equipment. But for now, the main priority is just getting some basic silage production up and running. I need another source of income. Relying only on selling trees isn't really sustainable. There are still quite a few trees left on the property. But sooner or later, I'm going to run out. Alright, that's all the grass raked. I started windrowing around 12:30, so it took about 2.5 hours. Not too bad. But my goal is still to turn all this grass into bales before I call it a day. I found a baler for $17,000 that should work just fine with Swifty's 80 horsepower, so I'll head over to the store and pick it up. My neighbor Seaman told me you can get a combined baler and wrapper, but a machine like that is way out of my budget. And it would also need a much stronger tractor, so that's not really realistic for a while. It's definitely something I'll aim for later though, when I can afford it. For now, I'll have to bale the grass first, and then figure out a way to wrap the bales. Alright, let's head back and see how many bales we can make. I've got no idea what to expect. but hopefully they'll bring in a little cash. That should help me start paying down Darlene's debt, and maybe buy the equipment I need to carve out some proper fields. My God, this might take a while. Swifty's barely strong enough for the job. Wow, that took a while. I think I started around 3:30 and it's 9 now. Nearly 6 hours of non-stop baling. Wouldn't recommend it. But I'm really glad I managed to finish everything I planned to do today. I've got no clue how many bales I ended up with. Lost count after bale number 7. I'll probably count them tomorrow in daylight. I also noticed Swifty's almost out of fuel, so before I call it a day, I'll head into town, fill her up, and pick up the wood trailer I left there. Not surprised Swifty drank so much fuel. She worked pretty hard today. Every time the ground got a bit hilly, she really struggled. So sooner or later I'll probably have to replace her. Not something I'm looking forward to, though. Alright, I think I deserve a cold beer or 5. So that's my plan for the evening. Chugging a few beers while I try to figure out the best way to get all these bales wrapped. See you tomorrow morning with a cup of coffee and the spreadsheet for September to keep you updated on the finances. Good night, folks.